So welcome in, and I'll simply explain why Marvel Rivals healing is better than Overwatch healing. And I'm showing the post right here, which gave me the inspiration to make this video. So right here, I'll start off. Why support players should be worried about Season 1. DPS, 30% anti-heal passive is now global. Less healing, less ult charge, less survivability. No quicker healing regen. 6 seconds out of combat for every roll. Sub-rolls, you now have to burn cooldowns on yourself to stay alive. And this one, just as I thought, healing is noticeably worse this season, and you are forced to pretty much heal bot to try and keep your teammates alive. Global 30% healing reduction activated by any form of damage is too much. It especially affects heroes like Mercy, and it lists off a few healers and etc. And why do I bring this tweet up and say, oh, Rivals healing is way better than Overwatch? Some people may say, well, no, it's not. Healing in Overwatch is good and overpowered, and just look at ones in Rivals, that's super overly tuned and, you know, boosted, blah, blah, blah. I do agree healing is a bit overtuned in Rivals, but so is damage. And a lot of supporters of the heal numbers in Overwatch will say, well, it just double checks if you have good positioning. You're gonna get way more punished. Overwatch is just way harder than Rivals. You're gonna get punished way more for bad positioning. Well, I don't think a game would be that healthy, would not survive that long. You saw what it did beforehand, but not fully due to healing. But a game is not enjoyable, at least to me, if you have the tiniest mistake and you die instantly. It is way healthier for a game for everyone to be quote unquote immortal, like some DPS players would say, because your mistakes get hidden, get covered up by your supports. Fights last longer. There should be no reason. Let's say on a convoy map in Overwatch, you lose maybe 1 or 2 team fights. Oh, that's the point. It's like, okay. Some scenarios, you could have a little fight, you lose, the enemy team is already at the next objective point by the time you get back. It's like, okay, we lost 1 fight, that's it. Well, okay. But in Rivals, other than Portal, which I do think is a good addition compared to Overwatch, with the healing, fights not only last a lot longer, meaning more action, more ult, more, in my opinion, entertainment, because you don't want the whole game to be, okay, walking simulator. Okay, I'm walking from spawn to point. Oh, I die in 0.2 milliseconds. Okay, I gotta go back now. That's not fun. I would rather be quote unquote immortal than die every 2 seconds. Especially after the 30 global, mind you, 30% heal reduction added to any form of damage. That is like if you take Venom's healing reduction, anti-heal, and put it on every character. I mean, you've seen in Marvel Rivals when the devs just only nerfed Loki's healing by 20%. He instantly became one of the worst characters, not even in the support role, but in total. Out of the entire Marvel Rivals cast, he became maybe top 3 in the entire game to probably bottom 5, just from nerfing his damage and healing by 20%. Imagine 30%. I mean, especially when Loki had his 20% healing reduction, and then Venom got his 30% anti-heal to his ult. I mean, by that time, Loki from his previous nerf state, mind you, that was about around 50% less healing that he did, until I buffed him a couple seasons after that when they realized, oh yeah, we definitely heavily undertuned him. But with Overwatch, I mean, you see people, it's like, oh no, it's just because you have bad positioning you die. It's like a 30% global healing reduction. I mean, you're just amplifying the notion that supports actually need to do damage now instead of just healing. Sure, as a support in both the Rivals and Overwatch, are you supposed to do damage alongside healing? Yes. You're not supposed to heal 99.99999% of the time, or even 100% of the time. You are supposed to do some sort of damage. But with this, I mean, healing is all gonna be like tickle healing now. Imagine Zenyatta's healing orbs with his perk, which can have 2 at 70% healing, I believe. Imagine Zenyatta's orbs with his perk. I mean, with 2 orbs, 70% healing. Imagine that. Nope, with a 30% heal reduction, both of those orbs now go to 40% each. I mean, if you see that, you'd be like, yeah, that's good. I mean, you are nerfing Zenyatta's healing by about half. It's like, that's not good. That's not good. Now, that's the only character I know from the top of my head of healing numbers, but I for sure know is 30% is gonna affect everyone heavily, even if it's 1% like Rivals. If you even add 30% to like half the support roster in Marvel Rivals, I mean, they're gonna be dead on the spot. Adam healing dead, Ultron dead, Mantis dead. I mean, even Luna Snowflake is gonna be like a non-factor. Maybe even Jeff is gonna be just dead. It's a filleted sushi right now. Even though people say, oh, Rivals healing is so overtuned compared to Overwatch. Overwatch is so much better in terms of healing because you make everyone immortal in Rivals. Well, if you make everyone immortal in Rivals, and 30% takes a top 3 character in the game to bottom 5, imagine what's gonna do in Overwatch. It's just gonna be like, okay, everyone complains supports do too much damage. Well, get ready for them to do even more, because guess what? You're nerfing their healing by a third. And it's not gonna be fun for anybody at all. These team fights should be like this. While I do agree that it can't be fun for both games, because I played Overwatch 1 a whole lot and I really enjoyed that. I didn't think the healing was too bad, too good. And trust me, I know what positioning is. This is my first really sort of game like Overwatch and Rivals, other than Overwatch 1 a while ago. I mostly played Halo games, which guess what? It's kind of like Overwatch in terms of the overtime you heal with the shields, with this Mjolnir armor, but you don't get healed by other people. Sure, there's maybe like health packs scattered around the map a bit, but on like online gaming, it's just person versus person. Your aim and positioning is definitely way more important than pretty much anything. And I used to really love playing the OG Halo Reach, so I know what games are like where you can't rely on healing yourself. You need to work on positioning, getaway tactics, damage, good aim, etc. So I'm not new to that experience, but in these sort of games, you don't want to get disintegrated instantly. I know as a tank player in Overwatch, if I, let's say, go against a Bastion, he will absolutely melt me, especially since I main Ramatra. I'm not sure if Ramatra's really meta or anything, I just liked his kit, and I liked his playstyle, but it's just like, I mean, I get melted as is. Now imagine, let's say, a Roadhog Bastion team up. Roadhog pulls you in, how are you going to escape? You are going to instantly die, no matter what supports you have, because I said this in the past, it feels like all support healing in Overwatch is like Ultron healing, if not worse. And now thinking about it, Zenyatta with his double orbs is just a way worse version of Ultron in Marvel Rivals. That's just a simple fact. Ultron, I think he does 35 healing with his drones, and I think around 30 with the people around him. And then with Zenyatta, he does 70% with both orbs. With Zenyatta orbs, if this is telling me correct, and it's correct information, it says 30 health per second in Overwatch 2. Now, if we actually do the math, that's just not worse than Ultron right now. That's already worse than Ultron. But if we do, let's say 30 times 70%, you get 21 healing per second with his perk. Now, if you times that by another 70%, because of the 30% you need to take out for the global 30% healing reduction, that's 14.7 healing per second. 14.7. Think of that. You're doing 14.7 health per second. That is, I believe, 2 times, if not a little bit more, times worse than Ultron healing. Now, I might say, well, Overwatch, you know, their healing was also very low and always has been low compared to Rivals. I was like, okay, maybe that's a fair argument. Well, in Overwatch, you're gonna have damage be the main moving force in every single team fight. While in Rivals, it's a multitude of things. There's high damage, there's high healing. There's even, for tanks, you can soak up a lot of damage. Groot walls is another thing. Shields. The only thing you have close to Groot is Mei in Overwatch, but she can place down one wall. There's a multitude of things in Marvel Rivals that can win you team fights, win you matches, which just aren't found in Overwatch. Overwatch, and this may be a little overgeneralization, is just pure damage. Who can outdamage who the fastest? Who can cut off healing the fastest? Because Overwatch healing is this slow sustain. It's like, okay, who can do more damage in a given time? While in Marvel Rivals, it's like, okay, who can heal more than incoming damage? And now thinking about it and explaining it like that, Overwatch is pretty much just one-dimensional now that I think about it. With Jetpack Cat, you actually add some sort of extra thing you can do, like fling people off maps. But in Rivals, with healing, it's a major factor in winning matches. Well, in Overwatch, this feels like, yeah, it's there, but you're mostly going to be reliant on damage. Because, let me give this example. How do you deal with dives in both games? Well, other than peeling, let's say you can't peel for your team and just leave the supports be. In Overwatch, the supports will probably outdamage the dive, right? Use some abilities alongside, but mostly damage, kill them themselves. Well, in Marvel Rivals, it's mostly sustain. Let's say Invis Shield, Luna Self Snowflake, Loki Runes, Jeff Bubble and Swim. Rocket can pretty much heal himself with every right click a little bit, and Wall Climb. And that's really the core difference between healing in both games. games. Overwatch, the supports do so much damage, but in Marvel Rivals, they do so much healing. You will never see in Overwatch supports with like 80k healing. And realizing this now, you don't see damages and healing numbers that high in Overwatch because the matches don't last as long normally. With Rivals, the matches last a lot longer because of how healing works and how high healing is. So they'll give inflated numbers for both healing and damage for not just a support role, but inflated damage numbers and damage taken for tank and DPS. So it really plays into, okay, now it's not just, okay, whose supports can do more damage while maybe doing some healing on the side. It's okay, which supports are best at sustaining their team, setting up. Especially with Loki. Let me go with Loki. I mean, you will have supports who set up wildly different. Just take, let's say, my favorite Loki content creator out there. Not myself. There's a YouTube channel called Nexus. He's also Celestial 2 like myself. But we have two vastly different playstyles as Loki. We can set up a lot more. With Overwatch, there's no really support which you set up with. There's not really a Loki type character. Like, okay, you can set up in a wild range of different situations and openings. With Nexus, he plays high up and around. I play on the ground in a straight line in a choke. I like consistent short healing. He likes more burst, long healing. And we pretty much have opposite playstyles with Loki, but we still ended around the same place in Celestial 2. People have said since Rivals came out, it's a lot more chaotic than Overwatch. It's a lot more, I guess, arcadey than Overwatch. A lot more can happen. Not only do you have a more 360 view by being in third person, but it also opens up more things for healing and like these setup type characters. If you add the 30% heal reduction to all supports in Marvel Rivals, even though their healing is way better than in Overwatch, I mean, all of the supports will drop down to maybe C and below tier, if not all of them D and below, because of how bad all of them would be. I think Loki would only be played for his runes, being fully honest, because so many heals would get absolutely gutted. But you know, you would still have dive characters saying, oh, they're immortal, and blah, blah, blah. My point is, in wrapping this video up, Overwatch is going very in the wrong direction, in my opinion. Maybe long time fans and players of Overwatch 2 would be like, no, it's good, it's good. Well, we have different opinions for a reason. And in Marvel Rivals, I feel like even though their healing is overtuned, the damage is overtuned, their healing is in a much better place than Overwatch has their supports in. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. See ya.